All right, all right. Hey guys, welcome back to the Underground. This is Interactive Chat Volume 18. Almost hit our first 20 of this spontaneous good time we like to have together. Hope everyone's had a great week. I sure have. Been playing the hell out of No Man's Sky, of course, and some Hitman 3. And it's amazing that despite, PlayStation VR being near the end of its life cycle and, PlayStation VR2 on the way that we're all excited about, I'm still getting mileage out of my headset, man. It feels good. It feels good. I'm glad that, while we didn't get all the support we wanted for PlayStation 5 and PlayStation VR compatibility and everything, it's nice that we at least got some things, and some things that I in particular personally have been enjoying. And that's what matters most to me, is that I have stuff to play, that there's fun stuff out there. And yeah, and today we've got a bunch of things to talk about. Of course, a little bit of a slow news week for new news. However, we've got some stuff to catch up on. I missed a couple things last week. I've missed you guys. And I wanted to do a show today to get caught up a little bit on some things and talk about the future as well. And of course, this is going to be a little bit more laid back episode with these interactive chats. This is all about hanging out with you guys in the community, having some fun, having some good old fashioned discussion together. Because that's what it's all about, man. Speaking of which, the Game Cat's out of the glue bagger. A to the MFJ. Howdy ho to you, Game Cat glue bagger. What's up, Herb the 247 Game Cat as well. Good to see you guys. Thank you for joining. But yeah, and also there's a part 2 of the summer sale. So we'll look at that and stuff. But yeah, man, how's everybody doing? You guys been playing anything? Let me know, please. What up, Rogue TR? Good to see you, brother. Happy to see you guys. And here, let me get some different trailers here. Oh, yeah. But like I said, No Man's Sky. So excited it's coming to PSVR 2. Probably, I know, even though not... easy puppies. I know even though, it's been out for a while, the game itself has been out for years. Still one of my most anticipated games, because it is easily, somebody asked me this the other day, and I'm like, yeah, if you didn't know, it is absolutely my favorite PlayStation VR game by far. It's my favorite VR game, period. Just the way it's an open universe to explore and have fun with. It's so cool. How's it hanging, brother? Dave Station in the house tonight. Good to see you, man. Dave called me right before the show and told me this crazy story. So if you're in the Discord, join our Discord. I share it with PSVR Without Parole. It's actually mostly PSVR Without Paroles. I don't know why I never made my own. I guess I was originally a game cat. I still am a game cat. So that's the people I've always hung out with. And that's my favorite VR community by far. So that's where we kick it. And get Dave to tell you a funny story about a homeless man he tried to help. It's what you get for doing nice things, Dave. Haven't you learned yet? What up, Ben L, the Game Cat Army, Spoofer Man, Blue Jew, the Underground Game Cat, meow meow. Hey, my Julia. All right, guys. So, like I said, nothing particularly this week. However, last week there were some things. Today's main topic, of course, is going to be some of the challenges that PlayStation VR 2 faces. And honestly, a lot of it, it goes well beyond, it's so many different things. Beyond just narrative, but like actual other things too, business-wise, competition, so many different things. But I think mostly today is going to be focused on the narrative surrounding it. And I got to show you why I think things are looking really, really good as of right now, and expect them to get better. No, it's Ryan, the game feline, my metal brother. Says AJ, keep it metal. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, you know I do. Actually, I don't know if this metal's playing right now. There should be metal playing right now. Let me know if there is metal. There should always be metal playing. I don't know. Some of my settings seem messed up. What up? Shooty hootie. Thank you, man. Appreciate you guys all jumping in. I really, really do. Appreciate your support as always, and and just, we're here to have a good time, talk about some PSVR and stuff. Dave's telling his story nice, and it's on nice big letters. So if you're watching this and not just listening to it, you can see the whole story of Dave's crazy story of trying to help a homeless person out, just trying to make a new friend. Told you, Dave. That's yep. Anyways, appreciate you guys. So one thing I missed last week, I really wish I would have covered this when it was a little bit fresher, but that's okay because we're going to cover it a little bit today. Not going to go too deep into this, but just give you my opinion because I don't think I've really just one-on-one shared my opinion on this. And that is PlayStation sharing what the user experience is going to be like in the PlayStation blog. And showed us some new features. I mean, this is really, so we get really excited about I get really excited, I should say, whenever I see anything PlayStation VR2 related, any news, any information. It is all hype levels maximum for me. But reality, like, this is more of a courtesy that Sony gave us. I think the most exciting thing from this whole thing is that they say the road to launch for PlayStation VR2 is in full swing, full speed ahead, maximum warp speed. That is the exciting part to me, that, all systems are go to start revving up and getting ready for a sick ass launch for the PlayStation VR2. Because that's really just at the end of the day what I'm waiting for. I mean, I'm enjoying some stuff in the meantime. When it comes to hype, though, that's one of the most exciting things. They go on here and they show a couple of the new features. We knew that there was an overlay UI here that, has some standard settings, screen brightness, system screen size. Now, that little thing there, that system screen size, does make me a little concerned because I really, right now when we play VR on a PlayStation, the UI, the main menu and everything is not a 3D environment. It's just a little flat TV screen. And so that one, I will say, has me a little concerned. I really hope that if not at launch, they end up integrating a 3D environment to mess around in the main menu to pick your games and everything. So, but moving on, it's whatever. They also got the pass-through, which you can be able to see your environments. That's really good for safety reasons, safety purposes, knowing where you are in the room. Plus, it just helps the convenience of not having to take the headset off. They just call it see-through view. Very short, sweet, and simple. We're not going to read all this stuff because you guys probably know about most of this stuff already. This was cool, though. We got to see the first picture of somebody playing PlayStation VR2, and it's a little bit interesting because we're not so sure if this is what it actually looks like, but if it is, then this is a big deal because it means that if you're streaming from the PlayStation 5 console and not using a capture card or anything, that you'll be able to broadcast yourself and potentially the fisheye lens will be gone. Now, whether or not that's actually going to happen remains to be seen. We don't know if that's just a promo photo, but my first assumption was that, hey, like, this is what it's going to look like. They're showing us right here, so it'd be pretty cool. Mark Pringlesleaf says, AJ, hopefully it cuts down on smacking your TV or hitting the walls. I'm pretty good about that. I've never been, I think the worst thing I had ever was a ceiling fan in my living room when I had my setup in my living room and I was playing Sprint Vector in February 2018. And Sprint Vector is very much like a jumping parkour rollerblading game. And I kept smacking the shit out of my ceiling fan. So I quickly moved to another room that was a lot better for that. So don't have to worry about it as much anymore. What's up, Shapeshifter, the amorphous game cat? as well as you, Colt 45, Rainman 88. New phone, who dis? And Nick Mulo, what's good? Was it one of those fancy? Oh, they're talking about Dave's story, as they should be, because it's pretty funny. Bambino Ramos. Yeah, man, hope you guys are having a great night. Like I said, definitely low-key chilling, taking it easy, but got some things to talk about. Share my opinion as I like to do, because that's what I do, man. Like, I get the craziest conspiracy theory fuckheads always giving me comments about random shit. And it's like, dude, I'm just a dude that loves PlayStation and VR and PlayStation VR and gaming overall. And I just share my opinion. I don't necessarily think what I say is right or wrong. That's what opinions are, man. So just have fun, you know? And I love hanging out with you guys and the community, because that's what it's always been about. It's been about PlayStation VR and the community since day one. From 100 subscribers to 8,000 something, whatever I've got right now. I don't know. But yes. Oh, Prey comes out tonight. I actually, not to derail the subject, but I do want to see this Prey thing. I'm a big fan of Predator. And yeah, apparently this is getting good reviews. But then again, so did the Resident Evil Netflix thing, and that was awful. So, it's also the last night for Spark servers. Well, I never really played a ton of Spark, so it's not the biggest deal to me, but I know it's a really, really good game. I know lots of people love it. Does that go for Valkyrie as well? Nick, is Valkyrie getting shut down as well? Because I believe it's the same developer. I hope not. Although, to be honest with you, I mean, it sucks. It really sucks, in fact. But at the same time, it's like if nobody's playing it, then I don't know. I think Starblood Arena was definitely more of a travesty getting shut down, because it was so much fun single player as well, and they couldn't get a single player patch for it. So one day maybe we will see it come back in its full glory. Mark Pringles Leaf says, the big question, AJ, can you see PSVR 2 being released this year? No. I mean, can I see it happening? No. I wish it was, man. I really, really wish it was. But I actually watched Brian's video earlier. He made a nice little 5-minute video talking about this, and it's because there's lots of people out there that they see anything and they're like, oh, you see, it's 2022. You know, at the end of the day, though, and I've talked about this before, like I've heard from several developers that it is Q1 2023. So I'm going to go with that over no matter what it looks like. I would love for it to be this year. I would love for it to be 2 years ago even. But you know, a big reason for that is, well, so I think it was originally planned. I think they were going to try for Q4 2022. And from what I've heard, you know, besides, of course, getting PS5s out there. By the way, if I hear supply chain issue one more time, I'm going to projectile vomit in your face. I'm so sick of hearing that. But anyways, is actually funny enough, they want to produce more PSVR 2s to sell at launch. So there's a pretty positive spin, even though their strategy is basically the tortoise strategy, and it sucks for us. The weight sucks and everything. You know, having enough PSVR 2s to meet the demand at launch is important. Otherwise, people are going to get pissed again and go through the whole PS5 launch again with PSVR 2. I already see people really worried about scalpers and stuff, and you know, the more supply they have to meet that demand, the better. And who knows? But I'm hoping, especially if they launch at like a $399 price tag, you know, the PlayStation ecosystem is full of a lot of slightly older folk that have grown up with PlayStation and can afford to buy stuff. I think the Quest, when it was at least $399 or $299, you know, it's something that was the very good strategy from them for consumers, anyways, that you could get a Quest for lots of kids and stuff. You know, you saw all those videos over the holidays. Well, Well, if you can afford a PS5, then you can probably figure out a way to afford a PSVR 2 as well. Methinks. Spoofaman says, AJ, I'm so excited for PSVR 2. I had a dream of it being shown off at a Sony event. You shouldn't have to dream that, man. You really shouldn't have to dream that. That should just be a thing that happens because Sony wants to advertise the headset and sell it and show people how awesome it is. Game Cats out of the glue bagger. Even more important question, do you think they will release a PS5 Slim or Pro around the time of PSVR 2? There could definitely be a second revisional model for, oh shit, Sal. There could be a second revisional model for the PlayStation 5. I don't see a Pro anytime soon. I think we were talking about this recently too, like maybe like 2026. By like that time, I could see a PlayStation, a new model, or but it's not going to be like a Pro, or that would be like a Pro model. If they come out with anything sooner, I would think that it would just be like a slightly more efficient with the power supply or power consumption, something that they correct, because they always do that. I could definitely see a slim model in the future as well. Sal, thank you so much for the $10 donation. It says, sup, everyone. You guys are the best, man. What else we got going here? I want to, of course, the whole point of this show, like I said, is to interact with you guys as much as possible. I want to give you guys a platform to voice your discussions and thoughts and opinions on everything. I'll be your puppet. I'm just kidding. I get to have tons of fun up here too, and voice my own opinions and stuff, and piss off a lot of angry people on the internet, which is glorious. Ones that forget to not take life too seriously too often. Even though it should sell out due to how many people are waiting, I don't think public demand at launch is going to be high enough for scalpers to be interested. Well, the problem with that, Bambino Ramos, is that scalpers are there regardless, whether it be a popular item or not. They're typically always there. They're like freaking vultures, and they prey on any device, any hardware, anything that has any demand at all. And going by the narrative that I've seen, the hype levels of the public eye, I mean, the public has been waiting. The mainstream has been waiting for PlayStation VR 2 for literally like 4 or 5 years now. And so even if you don't see a lot of buzz for it online or anything, which you do, even if that wasn't there though, there would still be lots of demand for it and people excited about it, because that's just, people have been talking about PlayStation VR 2 almost since the time that PlayStation VR launched. Photo Nutter, the Game Cat, says, do you think there could be too many titles for the release date? No. I don't think so, because no, not at all. The more titles, the better, because then there's more chances of somebody having a game for them. It's funny, the average consumer or gamer typically sticks to like 1 or 2 games. So the more options you have and whatnot, the better. And hopefully everybody at launch has that game for them. Us up here, playing on YouTube, showing off these amazing games that these developers make and this amazing hardware that Sony has made. We have a lot of fun doing this, and we play everything. It almost turns into work sometimes. A lot of the times it turns into work. But before I did this, like, I was only playing what I wanted to, and I got to focus on those for hundreds of hours. So it's a little bit different now. Luckily, I still try, I'm a gamer at heart. As my mom always said, I was born with a controller in my hand. Love you, mama. I love that line too. And it's true, man. I just play a shit ton of games, and, it'll make it stressful for us, but we'll be having a good time. It doesn't matter. No use in overthinking it. No, more games, the better. Absolutely. It's going to be more competitive. If anything, it might, make it more competitive for developers, but they'll have their game on the platform and be ready to go, and they can always put it on sale, find ways to compete, which the consumer ends up winning in most cases. What up, MRI Gamer? Yeah, I can't wait to watch Prey. Chairface, would you import it if it launched early in Japan? No, I would not get a Japanese PlayStation VR2. Although that sounds pretty cool. No, I don't think I would. I think I'll just try to get one at launch. Try to pre-order. Again, make sure you join our Discord, because that's where we're gonna be all over it and be ready to pre-order. That's how we all got PS5s for those who wanted one and everything. Pietrek F thinks the headset is going to be $499. I still think it's going to be $400. I think it's going to be $399. But I don't think $499 is a unreasonable guess at all. I mean, it's really nice hardware. It's OLED screens. It's got, the haptics from the everything. So yeah, I don't know. $399 to $499 is the price that I'm thinking. Man, you guys are so much fun, man. I love talking to you guys. Anyways, let's move on here. So this is the broadcast yourself stuff. You guys better be ready to start streaming this next gen. You guys are pros now. They've got a look at what is this thing called? The customized play area. This is like some weird looking thing. It's definitely different than the Quest one. It's got this weird grid. It's almost like this like zone or this like mapped out thing that maps around objects. But it's cool. It creates just a virtual playing area, which is pretty cool. Again, these are not necessarily exciting things, exciting features. These are necessary, though. These are very, very important, even if they're not like, ooh. These are really useful tools that obviously they borrowed some stuff from the Quest that work really, really well, and keep people safe, keep people from running into their walls and running into objects, because player safety should be treated with a lot of importance. They say there's a VR mode and a cinematic mode. Of course, VR mode is 4000 by 2040 HDR video, OLED screen, baby. Games are going to look so freaking good, guys. Oh my God, I can't wait. What up, Billy Goat? Old Darth, good to see you guys. Old Dart says, FYI, Quest 2 owners, Republic is free right now on the Oculus Store. You should definitely play that game. It's a good game. Even if it's not a VRAF game, I highly recommend Republic, because it's pretty dope. Chairface says, AJ, do you have a Quest 2? I do. It's actually like right behind me. I finally plugged it in after a long time, and it's charged and ready to go. I'd like to get back into Synth Riders and Resident Evil 4, and there's a couple other games I really want to check out, but I've just been so hooked on No Man's Sky and Hitman 3, and I've still got a lot of unfinished business with those that I got to get to, so going to be focused on those for now, but hopefully I'll get some free time to where I can get caught up to speed on some of these games coming out. Oldar said, you gotta love the sacred symbols as part of the floor grid. Oh, that's pretty cool. I think I totally forgot about that. Let's see. Yeah, I do like that, man. Matches my shirt. I dig it. The boundary. So they do talk about like a cinematic mode. Players can view the PS5 system and UI and all non-VR game and media content on a virtual cinema screen. Content in cinematic mode will be displayed, blah, 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 boring stuff. I'm not a big fan of the cinema screen thing. Just the little floating screen in front of you and black space. I really hope they, with all this time we've had to wait, I really hope they get enough time to throw in some 3D backgrounds, some 3D environments, which I think no doubt will come, but when, it still remains to be seen whether it's going to be at launch or later. But we shall see. What else we got here? Guys talking about movies. What up, Zombie? Good to see you, homie. 80 hours of Elden Ring. Used large layout. Hopefully they fix the drift issue in cinematic mode. Huh. Yeah, I don't think I've... Oh, yeah, I know what you kind of mean. But anyways, at the end of this whole thing, they just mention there's lots of exciting things to look forward to for PSVR 2. And we can't wait to share more details about our next generation virtual reality headset that takes a dramatic leap forward in gameplay innovation. We'll share more information soon, including launch date and additional games coming to the platform. Games, baby. That's what it's all about. That's what I'm looking forward to the most. Show me more games, because that is, in fact, what it's all about. And I think that's going to be a big... a big part to play this gen. Big important. Of course, the hardware. Honestly, the PSVR 2 is, in my opinion, the biggest leap in evolution of PlayStation gaming. Is definitely, when it comes to the PS5, is that what it can do with the PlayStation VR 2 by far. I've actually enjoyed some PS5 games, non-VR. I'm still very much a PlayStation gamer as well. But I really like. I really think that the PSVR 2 is really the most next gen thing about PS5. Bad Robo's in the house. What's up, Awesome Tatum? You as well. Says, give me Twisted Metal VR. Axel in VR. Yes. Axel would be a great fit for VR. Maximum power. Man, Twisted Metal is basically why I became that's like what made me go out and buy a PS1 in the back in the day in the first place. Bad Robo. Oh, hi. AJ, how often do you clean your headset and what do you use to clean lenses? I clean my headset before and after every use, Bad Robo. For the rubber parts, I use a non-alcoholic lens. Non-alcoholic. What is it, like baby wipes or whatever? And then, but not for the headrest part, because if you rub that too hard and stuff, it'll come off. So I like maybe just very lightly clean with that. And then for the lens itself, I just use a microfiber cloth. With the lens, you really don't want to use anything other than a microfiber cloth at all, because you can end up scratching the lens or wearing out the protective lens covering, all sorts of stuff. So always recommend using that. Scott Jesco, PSN Hairfell, Peace for your game cat for life. What up, homie? I did get your email, my friend. Yep. And I'll probably be sending you guys that won the Quill statue giveaway. Should be sending it this weekend. So I will let you guys know. Yeah, gonna have more giveaways in the future, so stay tuned for those as well. Those are really fun to do. I love any chance I get to give back to the community, because you guys are what make this thing go around. And yeah, it's super cool to. It's an honor to be in a position to where I can help and really just be the middleman and getting you cool shit that's PSVR related. Yeah, I am interested in the quality of the PlayStation VR 2 headset too, and how it's going to hold up, because everything on the PSVR 1, well, I wouldn't say everything. It is pretty durable overall, but I think the worst thing was definitely that leather, that fake leather plastic stuff that starts to wear out. That is absolutely an issue. So hopefully they've got some better materials for there. All right, so let's see. What do I still have this thing up here? All right, so let's talk about the reason I named the show this what I did is because there was a recent poll by GameInformer, just random tweet thing. I kind of missed this. Like, I saw it last second, and I was gonna retweet it and share it. And I wanted to give you some of my thoughts on this poll that they ran, and tell you about it, because it was a little bit interesting to me. They asked how excited are you for PlayStation VR2? 21.9% said very excited. 29.7% said somewhat intrigued. And then 48.4% said not interested at all. Now, on the surface, I know that this can look bad, but let me tell you, man, if this poll, imagine this poll coming out 5 years ago, it would have been like 1% excited, 2% somewhat interested, and then like 97% not interested at all. So considering that this poll was also taken from a player base that is mostly made up of non-VR gamers. I mean, this is GameInformer. This is PlayStation. This is Xbox, Nintendo. So this is like, you know, this is not even a VR enthusiast club. And it actually really warmed my heart to see that actually over 50% expressed interest or excitement in PlayStation VR 2. There's a lot of people that are curious about it still, and but yeah, I just thought this was interesting and really comparing it to years ago. Let's have some fun and take a look at some of the comments, shall we? What up, GB, the chromatic gaming squid cat? Let's comment on some of these comments, shall we? This guy here says, my experience with VR is fogged up lenses, constant moving headset, and annoyance with setup process. I love how Petrifying Pumpkins, you know what I love about Petrifying Pumpkins is he is such a PlayStation fanboy at his heart. He really is, man. And I love him for it. It's always fun. But he says PSVR 2 has a vent to remove fog, a single cable for easy setup, and inside-out tracking, so no more return to your play space. Just saying. He's funny, man. Ultimate President says, I loved PSVR 1, and therefore I'm really excited for VR 2. Very nice. I'd vote for you. You get my vote, Ultimate President. Eddie from Outer Space. We're just going to read a few of these. I would love to find a PS5 at retail price first. Of course, that comes up. And somebody's actually talking to them saying, too, you haven't looked in a while, which, I mean, let's be honest here. Yes, you can't go out and buy a PS5 from the store, but it is also not the hardest thing to get anymore. Yes, it takes a little luck, a little timing and stuff, but it's been a lot easier, and all the signs are pointing towards the supply stuff actually improving in the coming months drastically. So should be some really exciting times ahead, and I really do look forward to where anybody can go out to the store and grab one. It's going to be pretty cool. Let's see here. What else we got? We're just going to read a couple more of these, respond to them a little bit. I'm honestly shocked VR is holding on. Feels really gimmicky. There it is. I was waiting for that. We should have had bingo cards before we did this. At least I got it all in the thumbnail. What people are going to say, gimmick, fad, can't get a PS5. 3D TVs, Vita 2. I tried to put all that on the thumbnail. I had a little fun with that one, obviously, but because I just knew that I didn't even screen these yet. I knew these were the things that we were going to see. And this shows you this is coming from a lot of people that, you know, just aren't aware yet. They're not familiar with VR and stuff, and that's fine. We've been hearing this stuff since 2016, and we've only seen VR grow and get better and better and better. I'm honestly shocked VR is holding on. Feels gimmicky, but people that like it really like it. Yes, once you play it, David Goltree, you will understand. Once you play a game that you love and get to experience it in VR and it's done well, you will then understand, my friend. Name pending says the tech is too limited. I missed that one on the thumbnail. And not enough games. Not enough games. That's another one that makes me laugh a lot. Are finding interest ways to use that limited tech well. And PSVR 2 is only an incremental upgrade. Yeah, no. PSVR 2, at least over PSVR 1, is a massive upgrade. Then you throw in the PS5 games that are being literally rebuilt for the new headset. and then a 4K OLED HDR screen. You got the same haptics and adaptive triggers, all this stuff. Even the headset rumble, I think, is pretty cool. Sarah says, I would be if my No Man's Sky save was cross-progressional. Well, most likely it is, Sarah, so you'll be good. I plan to transfer my PS4 save of No Man's Sky to PS5 and then be able to play that version in VR. So that'd be really cool. There's Bob. I know Lazy Yoda. Unholy says, after VR gaming on Quest 2, I couldn't care less about PSVR. The novelty wears off fast. Well, sorry, my friend. You just haven't found the right games. Cyper Rat says, I love my PSVR. I can't wait for the new one. Hell yeah, Cyper Rat. Lee, I have the VR1. Can't wait to try out VR2. So, I mean, this is, even though there's a couple people that are like, you know, making up the usual things we hear, this is such a dramatic difference from what I recall 2016 and everything being about. Like this is so different. I mean, everything was everything was against PSVR, and there were a lot of valid concerns, but the problem is people didn't have the patience. They didn't have the understanding that this is new tech, that there's a lot of stuff that has to get figured out. And it's understandable when you're paying $400 for a piece of hardware or tech or gaming console. You don't want to pay $400 or more for experimental tech, things that has a lot of stuff to really figure out as well. You want something that's solid from the get-go. What kept me from getting PlayStation VR 1 from the first few months was that I was an early adopter of the PlayStation Moves. I still use those Moves, by the way, and the PSI toy. And I wasn't sure how well Sony was going to support the PlayStation VR at first. And then little did I know, with games, I mean, with games. Then they said stuff like Skyrim. They're like Farpoint, Resident Evil 7, all these games, Moss Book 1 and everything. And I was like, all right, I'm sold. Like, here's a shit ton of games. And that's what got me. Of course, Until Dawn Rush of Blood was like the reason I wanted one. And as soon as I saw the games, I was like, all right, they're supporting this thing. And 6 years later, I'm still able to play new things on the PlayStation VR 1. So my worries about them supporting the peripheral these days is long gone. I mean, they supported this thing with games way more than they even should have. I'm not complaining because I played the shit out of everything. Donatello the Scientist Game Cat says Spark VR ends tomorrow. Play it while you can. Long live PSVR. That's my brother right there, man. Yeah, dude. Last night to play Spark, so you know, here. Oh, let's all cheers to the end of Spark. To Spark. Yeah, I really should play it a little bit more as well, because I didn't get to play it enough. But yeah, PSVR has an amazing library, and that has not been the problem. The problem has actually been the opposite of what I thought it was going to be, which is the hardware became really, really dated and stuff. Blurry text, but yeah, I missed a couple comments from you guys. Let me see. Let me see if I've missed anything, any questions you've asked, any conversation starters. But the whole narrative surrounding PlayStation VR 2 has definitely changed quite a bit. I'm glad that there is some competition. There was actually somebody, Jedi Joshua the Game Cat, asked on Twitter earlier. He tagged me and a couple other people and was saying, like, does MetaQuest raising the price to $400, does that do Sony and PlayStation VR 2 a big favor? And there's two answers I have for this. In one way, it's like, yeah, sure. I mean, a little bit indirectly. If the PlayStation VR 2 is $400, it, you know, there's going to be a lot more people with PS5s than that have Quest or PCs and stuff as a gaming device. So if people have the option, if they have a $400 option to play a Quest, to get a Quest 2, or $400 option to get a PSVR 2, yeah, that definitely does PSVR 2 some major favors. But Quest 2 has also been out for 2 years and stuff, and there's a new Quest that's being made. It's the worst kept secret ever. So by that point, they're going to be gearing up for something else, and they're going to be they're going to have their work cut out for them. But I mean, the other thing, I have always liked competition. I think competition is a good thing. That's why everyone who calls me a Quest hater or whatever is full of shit. Because I love PlayStation, but sometimes that gets confused as to I hate other things. No. And when people say that, I do kind of double down and be a dick about it because I don't know, because it's just, you wouldn't be surprised actually probably how much I hear that. But I actually think competition is really, really good and really healthy. I think it's important that both headsets, I mean, these are, as far as I'm concerned, these are the only two headsets that are really pushing the medium forward. And I just, with Sony being a gaming company, for established gaming company, PlayStation, I should say, for so many years, they definitely have a leg up in terms of the IPs. The IPs they have access to, the relationships, the developers, the strength of the platform, the ecosystem adding onto the thing. And this is why I've always said that having that hybrid model is really, really important for them, because that's one more, you don't see people in this comment section we saw, you don't see people going, no, I hate VR. You don't see that as much anymore. And I think that's because as a hybrid model, it's not taking away from the flat screen game experience anymore. At least the people out there on the internet, the narrative surrounding that is no longer a lot of that, because they still have their Resident Evil Village, their No Man's Sky, but they're also getting a VR option for it, which I think is magnifique, brilliant strategy from Sony that they have. Hawk107 says, I do hate Quest. At Quest channels, I blocked them from my recommendations. I do have a Quest. Yeah, I have a Quest too. And it's all right. I don't know. It's a touchy subject for a lot of people. I'm just really a hardcore PlayStation guy. So I just have a lot of pride and a lot of love, and I get the games and the experience I like from PlayStation gaming, even flat screen. I mean, I showed and proved to myself that I will actually go to PlayStation 5 flat screen games over Quest games. I don't know why. I don't know. I just enjoy those experiences. But I do love PlayStation VR first and foremost, and PlayStation VR 2 is going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to be so cool, man. So let's see here. I don't think there's anything else really with this poll, but again, this is actually a good sign for me. And just imagine from what this first gen of PlayStation of VR has accomplished. And that's a combined effort between PC, between developers, between Sony, between Meta, between Valve, of course, has a big part in it because of Half-Life Alyx and the headset. They've all, it's really important that they all continue to be competitive and push the medium forward and get more people trying out VR and experiencing it. And as you'll see, there's less and less of these. You still see these people that say VR is a gimmick because they've either never played it or they've never played it, or they just don't understand it, which is fine, but it is definitely drastically different than it used to be, man. Drastically different. Well, guys, I'm really, really excited about the future. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Before we get out of here, there is another part 2 sale going on right now. and there's stuff like the Room VR, Dark Matter, $17.99. I thought that's been cheaper. That should be cheaper. Touring Carts is $5.99. I like this game. If you have a wheel, I recommend it. Crisis Brigade is $5.39. I'm a big fan of this game. Paranormal Activity has been a lot cheaper. There's some okay in this Part 2 sale. I'm actually a big fan of this Carly and the Reaper Man, but be warned, it's janky because it uses DualShock control, DualShock tracking. And then let's see, Astrobot is a must-have. Blood and Truth has a physical edition for $9.99. So there's some good stuff. Oh, here we go. This is my big winner right here. Thumper for $3.99. If you don't already have Thumper, that is what's up. But guys, it was super fun hanging out with you. You know, I hope some more updates and stuff come out so that I can play some more. I honestly, I just don't want to be streaming No Man's Sky nonstop on my channel as much as I'd love to. But I have been playing that a bunch, playing a bunch of things. So I agree. Blair Witch is awesome. Before we get out of here, let's field some questions from the chat. So is Spark going servers closing tonight? Yes, Spark servers are closing down. Last day to do it. That is for sure. So get on Spark while you still can. Game Cat out of the glue bagger. You and I, man, you know, we both really like touring carts. Is it like, you know, as good as Mario Kart? Of course not, but it's good though. I think it's the best kart racer we have right now. Besides maybe getting in GT Sport and riding around in that go-kart, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's a dope game, especially if you have a wheel. I love touring carts. Where's Half-Life anyway? Dr. Dan says. So the next showcase, Sony's going to be showing a bunch of new games, and I think this is where we finally see Half-Life Alyx. We did, if you missed it, if for some reason you guys missed it, I don't think any of you did. Make sure you go to PSVR Without Parole and first of all, subscribe. And secondly, go check out Monday's Gamescast, where we break down 20 different games and some of what we do for launch predictions. It's very much like a practical list, like, so it's not the most like surprise out of nowhere thing. But we throw a few of those in there, but it's mostly just what I actually believe. And the one thing I forgot to mention though is that there's going to be new IPs that are shown. There's going to be new IPs for PlayStation VR2. There's going to be, you know, surprise games that come out of nowhere that we weren't expecting in VR that all of a sudden pop out. So it's going to be amazing. There's going to be some good shit. It's not just going to be hybrid games and games that we've known about before. I can't wait to see what new stuff we find out as well. You got the level 100. Nice, Gluebagger. Yeah, August 5th is the Spark servers. AJ, do you think there will be a PS5, PSVR 2 bundle sale at launch? That's a good question, actually. So someone asked before if I think there'll be a game bundle. I don't think there'll be a game bundle, maybe, but I could definitely see. I mean, you'd have to think if Sony would be idiots to not sell a PS5 and PSVR 2 bundle. Just imagine how many extra PSVR 2s they would sell just from providing that bundle. I think it's a really, really easy way to Trojan horse some PSVR 2s into some people's houses doing that. I think that's a great idea. And I think it'd be a really, really smart idea on their part. Later down the line, we'll start to get those bundles of PlayStation VR 2 with Horizon or Resident Evil or Astrobot 2, hopefully, or something like that. Gran Turismo Sport. Later, we'll get those, and we'll get many of those throughout the years. But, you know, just like this year, we had, I mean, the last bundle that came out for PSVR 1 was Iron Man, as far as I know. But even before that, there was Everybody's Golf and Blood and Truth, Five Nights at Freddy's, and Borderlands 2, Beat Saber and Borderlands 2, something like that. But I think PSVR 2 is going to absolutely crush it. And even if it takes some time, it's going to do, I think it's going to do really, really well and come out on top, baby. It is, because it's got the games, it's got the hardware. It's going to last a lot longer. Hopefully over time the price goes down instead of up. I don't want to see that be a trend. Spoof-Man, do you think Sony will be as aggressive with PSVR 2 game bundles as they were for PSVR 1 with a PSVR 2 mega pack? Dude, Spoof-Man, I don't know if you're in the States or not. We didn't get this mega pack that was in the UK and stuff. That thing was dope. Like, I mean, it was like Resident Evil 7, Skyrim, Astrobot, all this shit, Blood and Truth, Everybody's Golf. Like, we did not get a mega pack, as far as I know, in the States. That's just you lucky bastards out there in the EU and the UK and stuff. They did y'all right. Hawk 107, any leaks for Saints and Sinners Chapter 2? No, but we did see a first picture of the chainsaw. Want to take a look at that real quick? Let me get this picture back up here. We did finally. Now, it's not video footage, which I would really prefer to see. But Saints and Sinners did give us a little look. Skydance did give us a little look. Let me get this sorted up here real quick. Does this work? You can kind of see it. Here, let me move this around a little bit. We got our first look at the chainsaw in action, and I am very, very excited about this. Although it's not video footage, which I would have preferred, but I do love that we finally get to see a little bit of how this works. You know, what made Saints and Sinners 1 so amazing is the physics in the game. The physics were absolutely amazing. It made for such visceral combat and really immersive gameplay. And so I've been curious since day one. I've been harassing GC and the whole Skydance crew. I harassed them nonstop about, give me some footage of the chainsaw. And as you can see here, I mean, the arm is peeled off. You got the elbow at the socket. You've got a zombie in the walker in the bottom right that's like cut in half down from the forehead down. That is sweet. You got a head chopped off. And then of course just going like full split torso on this one as well. Super badass, man. I mean, that chainsaw is going to be so damn fun when we get our hands on it. So super cool, man. What are your current thoughts on the possibility of a wireless adapter battery pack down the road? I don't think that there's I'm not banking on that. I think there would be either a mid-year or late-year refresh, and especially if PSVR 2 comes out and absolutely slays, we will eventually see a wireless model, or when it becomes cheaper. The thing is, they could have made PSVR 1 or PSVR 2 wireless right now. Obviously, the tech is there, but it would be so damn expensive, nobody would buy it. So they'll probably at some point release a wireless model with true 4K screens, and at some point, and I could totally see that down the road, way down the road, but not right away. I think the reason it's got the cable, the reason it is what it is right now, is because it keeps the cost down as much as possible. And I think it's still going to be a damn good time. It's going to be plenty for what we need right now. For me, wireless is great, but I play in in my room, and I have like a certain amount of space to work with. To me, really, it's just, it doesn't make a big difference for me right now, but eventually it'll be nice. Do you think it is possible that PlayStation VR 2 games from PlayStation Studios will go to PC? Asked Spoof-Man. I could see that, but here's the thing. I mean, PlayStation VR 2 games? I don't know. I think we'll definitely see a lot of games. This is what's going to happen, Spoof-Man. A lot of games that are developed for PlayStation VR 2 from third-party developers will eventually make it to PC. But as we've seen from numbers and from developers and from a lot of things, researchers, analysts, is that the PC VR market is not a viable market. They cannot make up the cost for making a grand scale game. Indie developers and stuff that have smaller budgets, yeah, they can do fine on PC. They can do fine on the Quest. But you know, big budget AAA games, I mean, why not? Because you just make, you know, there is a player base on the PC side, but they're going to want that first party stuff selling PSVR 2 headsets and PS5. So I think that's going to be the majority of it. But there will be some trickle down. There will be some developers that develop for multiple platforms. And that would be great. But guys, I can't wait, man. Gonna be good times ahead. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight, having fun, being yourself, being good to each other, being good to yourself, being great to me as always, man. You guys are the freaking best. I love you guys. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of the night. This has been Interactive Chat Volume 18, where we keep that PSVR 2 hype train going. Woo woo! You guys take it easy. Underground out.